All right, hello. We have our craft we're gonna do today. Okay, so our craft is to do about all the different types of clouds from our nonfiction reader. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn in my Cloudette packet to this page here. I see a cloud that says types of clouds, and then I see a few different words with rectangles here. And the last one says types of clouds, and it's got 2 different pages on it. So I'm going to grab all 3 of those, okay? Your cloud one, and the 2 behind it. Okay. So, if you've got these pages, awesome. If not, pause me until you do have them. And then you're going to need to pause me again, because if you have some cotton balls, I want you to go ahead and grab like a handful, okay? You really only need probably like maybe 5 or 6 cotton balls. Mine are kind of small, but if you have bigger ones, I mean, you only need a few. If you don't have cotton balls, that's okay. You can draw them too. I'll show you how to do that, okay? We're going to make different kinds of clouds on this paper. Okay, so let's see. Let's start with this. Go ahead, the first thing you're going to do is cut out this cloud here that says types of clouds. Okay. I'm going to move these papers to the side. Alright, I'm just about done. If I finish before you, you know to pause me. Alright. Cut off. I have a little bit of white showing there. There we go. Okay, there's my cloud. Pause me if you're not here yet. Next, you're going to cut out, yeah, actually, go ahead. I want you to cut out each of these boxes. Okay, I was going to have you keep them together, but I think that we can make them all separate. So each of these boxes here has a different kind of cloud on it. All the clouds that we learned from our nonfiction book. So the top one is cirrus. Then it says cumulonimbus. Then we have cumulus. Then we have stratus. Okay, you have all the different kinds of clouds. Now, before you cut them apart, okay, you're going to want to keep them in the same order that I am. So what I'm going to do is you know what? Don't cut them apart yet. I think this is going to be simpler. So maybe what we do is we put some glue. All right, I have mine sitting sideways. I want yours to be sideways too, because it's going to be like coming out of the cloud up here. Okay, so I have cirrus over here on the left, cumulonimbus, cumulus, and stratus all the way to the right. So here's what I'm going to do. I want you to do the same thing. You are going to put a strip of glue, a pretty skinny strip of glue, up toward the top of your page. Okay, I'm going to connect it to the bottom of my cloud there. See how I just covered the glue just a little bit? Okay. So now I want these to be like our flat books. You know how like each little thing we can like flip? All right, we're not actually putting anything underneath it, but you're going to cut these lines up to the cloud. You're not going to cut through the cloud, just cut up to the cloud. So like this, watch. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to cut it up to the cloud, and then I'll stop right there. That will make them all be like their own little separate piece. All right, so there's one. Go ahead and begin if you know what to do. There's one. And there's one. Okay? All right, I've got them all separate. When you are at this point, you can play me again, but if you're not here yet, go ahead and pause. All right. So, if you have cotton balls, here's what you're going to do. I'm going to turn this sideways so that I can see all of the words here. We're going to make these kind of clouds with our cotton balls. Okay, so like a cirrus cloud, for example. Do you remember what a cirrus cloud looks like? A cirrus cloud are like those wispy clouds, right? They're kind of, like, excuse me, like, I think they were called hair-like in the book, right? And so they're just going to be like, sorry, I should have shown you what I did. So I took my cotton ball and I ripped just a little piece off. And I kind of tried to make it like straight and flat and wispy. Okay, so there's going to be one. And I'll make a few of them. So those look like cirrus clouds. Okay? So when you have them done, when you have them made how you want them to look, you can just, glue them down. I have some cotton stuck on my glue stick there. You can just glue them down. Dropping stuff everywhere. Now if you don't have cotton, you can just draw them. So I'm going to remove this one and I'll show you. I'm going to look for a gray crayon, I think. And I would just draw like nice, skinny, wispy looking clouds. Do your best to draw what a cirrus cloud would look like. Okay. So there's my cotton ball ones. There's a drawing one if you're drawing. Next we have cumulonimbus. Do you remember what cumulonimbus clouds do? They are our storm clouds, right? They're nice, they're big and dark. I'm going to take a few cotton balls, I think, and I'm just going to kind of like make one, I'll take 3. And I'm going to make one big cumulonimbus cloud. This is our rain cloud. I'm just going to put a big piece of glue in the middle and glue them all down connected to each other because cumulonimbus clouds are big. And then what you could even do if you wanted, I'll take a blue one. There's not a lot of room underneath. I didn't plan that very well, but you could draw some raindrops coming out of it. There's my cumulonimbus cloud. It's raining. Okay. If you're ready to move on, keep listening. If you need to pause me, that's okay too. If you wanted to draw cumulonimbus, by the way, you could just draw like a big, dark cloud. You could even color it in if you're using crayon instead of cotton balls. You can't really color the cotton, so I can't make them look dark. Okay. Now, cumulus clouds, remember, are those clouds that we like to look at and make shapes out of, and we get to like see pictures in them. They're nice and close to the ground. So they're a lot like cumulonimbus clouds, but they don't usually rain. Okay, they can turn into rain if they get bigger and darker, but cumulus clouds don't really rain. So I'm going to make them, so they're kind of like cumulonimbus. I'm going to keep them nice and puffy and big, but they're not all together like these ones are. They're not quite as big. They're like separate. So I might just do a couple of cotton balls that are not raining, and I can glue those down. If you're drawing, of course, you can do the same thing. You can just draw regular puffy looking clouds. Alright, so I will glue a couple cotton balls down. There's one. There's 2. Alright. Lastly, we have stratus. Stratus are those clouds that are like a blanket over the sky, right? You look up and you can't see the sun. It's just it looks very gray and gloomy outside when you have stratus clouds. So what I would do is kind of like we did with the cirrus clouds, we spread them out. But cirrus clouds are wispy and they're smaller. With stratus clouds, I'm going to take a cotton ball and I'm just going to start to pull a little bit. I'm going to try not to break it. Okay, if you do break it, it's okay. You could just glue them together. But stratus clouds are big and they take up a lot of space and they're like, they just cover everything like a blanket. So I'm going to try and take my cotton balls and stretch them out like a blanket. Okay. That will be how it would look with a cotton ball. Now, if you're drawing, you might just kind of draw like a big blankety cloud. Okay. However you want to do that. Okay. Lastly, you are going to tell me one fact about the types of clouds. So you're going to cut this out. You can attach it to the bottom if you want. I think if I were doing this, I'd probably leave it separate and just like, I want you to still fill it out, but you don't have to attach it to your craft if you don't want, so that you can keep these like not glued together. But you're going to write one fact about one of the clouds. So if you want to write a fact about cirrus clouds, you can. If you want to tell me something you know about cumulonimbus, you can, or cumulus, or stratus. Whatever your fact is, I don't care what it is, but I want you to write it down in a complete sentence. So maybe you tell me cumulonimbus clouds have rain. Maybe you tell me stratus clouds are like a blanket. Okay, whatever your fact is, that is up to you. Write it down. You can cut it out if you'd like. We're not really going to do a whole lot with this page. Like I said, I just want you to write a fact. And that's your craft. If you want to color the cloud up here, you can. I wouldn't really color this part unless you're like using crayon and drawing, because it's going to get kind of messy once you're in, like you've already got cotton and all that on there. So I'd probably leave this part alone, but that part you can color. Okay? Have fun. Thank you for listening. See you later.